Uh, we ain't even gonna do no intro. We probably do that towards the end.
Yeah.
So we just gonna naturally just close it. So but yeah, as you saying before we cut the camera on about the California wildfires, um, is very upsetting that how it's being handled, especially for that the last 4 years of California has been nothing but an absolute roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like the first half of like 2020 was wildfires. I would think that California would have had a plan in place for this exact thing happening again.
Yeah.
So it's very concerning that there was no contingency plan for it. It's just very saddening that a lot of people hard-earned money that they bought their houses and vehicles are all being destroyed.
Absolutely. There's a lot of generational wealth that was lost there. Of course, a lot of people like to highlight the celebrities that lost their stuff, but it is more than celebrities in LA. It's a lot of, hard-working people there that insurance is not going to replace some of those things that they lost. Not everything you can replace with money. So it's like, I feel for those people in California like you were expressing.
And on this side note, because I don't know too much about the actual California wildfires, besides the immense damage it's been doing on a daily, weekly basis, pretty much. It's very concerning, as in this is the biggest wildfires. If you're just comparing, I don't like comparing things, but from the 2020 wildfires to now, these are much bigger, much wilder fires that seems to just spread and just cause massive destruction.
And to add to that, I read that this was the second most impactful fire in California history. The one in LA, because like we mentioned, there's other wildfires going on in the United States right now. It's not just the LA fires. Last time I looked it up, there were 52 fires going on. So
Jeez.
It's not just in LA. This is a nation problem.
I can only imagine the funding for that.
Yeah.
For the simple fact of 52 other wildfires, and that's not including the main one. It sounds intense.
What do you think? And there's a lot of theories, but what do you think? Do you think this was started intentionally? Do you think it was an accident?
So this is my theory. I honestly think that there were some slight benefits to this wildfire, because a couple years ago, around 2020, they were talking about making those a new form of housing where they want it's like a conjunction of houses,
Like smart cities.
yeah, a smart city pretty much. So this can be an opportunity to even make a smart city. Think about how our houses are set up. So they're like big squares and rectangles on like mad amount of property. And a smart city, or pretty much, is to condense all that to make more room, because the earth is getting too populated.
So they say.
So they say. So I just want, that could be a thing, or it can be an insurance scam if they really want to be like that, but that's just an expensive insurance scam.
Yeah.
But this is only a theory, so that is not official. It's just what could have.
Just a random fact to throw out there. Do you know one of the celebrities' houses that burned down was P. Diddy's mansion? His $30 million mansion.
That's very, very questionable.
Yeah, it's odd. I don't think the fire was caused for that, but it's just odd how his house was one of the houses that got caught up in that fire.
Now, since we're moving on to the P. Diddy thing, the whole P. Diddy case itself has been been toying with some facts right now. Because honestly, when the mugshot showed up, a good amount of us can confidently say that is not him.
No, I haven't seen the mugshot.
Oh, the mugshot, we'll post it on there, but The mugshot did not look like him.
No.
No.
Ah. So do you think it's like he was unalive, say, and they're using like a stunt double or maybe even an AI generated picture?
I mean, it can be. This is my theory. I feel like the thing is, there's people who were really good at wax sculpturing, could have made something to look like him on like limited information. But my thing with the whole P. Diddy thing itself is that it feels like a repeat of an issue we just had years ago with the Epstein thing.
Yeah.
Where something crazy goes on with a higher official that has connections with higher ups of our government, magically disappears, and everything goes back silent. We had so much lore within that time frame with just the list alone. Like, I don't know if anybody cares or to remember the Island Boys and how their relationship to the Epstein Island.
I heard about that, yeah.
The reason why I brought them in, for the simple fact, was the simple how they correlate with Epstein and the island. These guys were not popular whatsoever till the point later on in their lives. So they became the Island Boy and made some songs. And the internet is the internet, and researched and found who they are. It's very intensive how secretive the U.S. government or the world can really be.
Yeah, the higher ups. And it's even stranger because it's like they're all interconnected, like you were saying. For example, a lot of the people that were on the Epstein list, they are still walking free. No charges pressed against them, and I know maybe some of those people were innocent, but for nobody to be charged for anything is, to me, that's a little suspicious. I think, just like Diddy, maybe these are the fall guys. They aren't innocent, but it's almost like there's a group of people, but somebody has to be the scapegoat to save everybody else. That's kind of how I see that situation.
I think that it's probably been planned like that since the conception of whatever the elites want to be called, if there is one. But it is very concerning of pretty much how much power they truly have. It's even like in media, and we all kind of glance over it. Like, I don't know if anybody played I'm gonna use the game Gotham Knights.
Batman?
Yeah. Gotham Knights is revolved around the Bat family, as you will. Sorry for the spoiler. But there's a group called the Owl, the Court of Owls, and they pretty much run Gotham with the iron fist behind closed doors. And their goal is to pretty much keep them within the shadows. So,
and they're called the Owls?
The Court of Owls.
The Court of Owls. Something, not to cut you off, but just going into the owl symbology. One thing being the god, it was an ancient god named Moloch. And there's a lot of documents to Moloch being tied to the owl. And people would sacrifice their children to this owl god. Like, there's plenty of documented cases of people sacrificing their children in the past to this god. Not only that, I'm sure you ever heard of Bohemian Grove?
Yes, I have.
A giant owl statue, all these political figures, they meet up every year at this Bohemian Grove. I just wonder if that's a parallel. The Court of the Owls, is it?
Yeah, it's called a Court of Owls, and I feel like the answer of how the world works or how the elite works, they have to tell you before they enact on it.
Right.
Because I feel like there's a rule that they can't do anything without giving us a heads up about it.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Court of Owls in this game is that they would take the criminals or the homeless of that world and transform them into pawns of like disposable people that they can just send an army at, that their own personal like hitman squad or whatever. And
So like mindless drones in a way.
not even mindless drone,
Zombies
like
all.
mindless people that can carry out whatever heinous attacks that they wanted to do. Like there was a guy who the beginning of the game that is killed off because, and it was set up like an accident, which in all honesty it wasn't as you played through the game. And you'll find out like the start of the problem wasn't even them until you kept digging into that rabbit hole that led up to the Court of Owls. And then you realize how much power they really had within the city of Gotham.
That's interesting. It's crazy how much games foretell.
Besides that point, but on a spiritual sense, I can honestly tell, like, this year is gonna, it's a really, 2025 is really different in the how everyone is really trying to be healthy, like really like trying to be on their A game. Because at least I can only speak for myself that 2024 was a year for a lot of deconstruction. Like I ended up having to break a lot of like beliefs and thought patterns. Just itself in its entirety really made me like reevaluate what I was doing. To now 2025, instead of being breaking down, now it's like a build up year. Like you building something now. So I don't know if that you have anything that those type of like energetic pools in that way. So
Yeah, to add to that, 2024 definitely was a year for growth for me. I learned a lot. That was the year I experimented the most in health, agriculture. I started growing my own food. You've seen some of the crops, and I can show them on the channel. I just really took health very serious with my family, and yeah, so 2025 I continue to take health to even a higher bar.
And to follow that statement, like 2024 is that I really impacted my health. Like the first 6 months I was probably getting rid of all the toxins from 2023. Like I was the last 5 months of 2023 I was very big into drinking. Wasn't like very alcoholic. It was just that I party a lot, and that's what was the drinks that was around. So I was just partying, drinking. Then I told myself by 2024, I'm gonna stop it. Now I'm to the point where I can't even have rum cake before I just spit it out.
Wow.
Yeah. Like
Wow.
as soon as I smell alcohol, I don't want it. I just want to throw up. But I changed my entire family's diet. Just I like when I go get like certain like types of meat, I go to a butcher instead of going to like supermarket, like a superstores like Sam's Clubs and the Walmarts of the world, because I found out it just tastes better.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like I'm actually getting what I'm paid for, and I'm trying to eat more fruits and vegetables, but actually do the research and take the time to figure out if they're farm grown or actually like corporate grown. That's what I call it, or industrial grown.
Yeah.
So I would like for y'all guys to at least kind of research what you're intaking, because the food may result into affecting your life
permanently. You are what you eat, literally. And a lot of these foods, there are a lot more ingredients in them than on the ingredient label.
as you